Go. Hi, Debbie Steglick here with Willie, the 2-year-old Connemara. He's here in training at my place, and today we're going to be working on saddling. He's had the saddle on his back a couple times, but he has not been cinched up yet. And what I want to see is I want to see how he feels about everything that I do. I'm going to watch for all the expressions on his face. I'm going to watch for what the nose does, what the eyes do. What the ears do, if his head is up or down, if he's got wrinkles in his nose. All this is all feedback letting us know what he thinks about things. And so I'm going to help him to build his confidence with the saddle. So as I put it on, I'm going to be watching his face. I'm going to be watching for what does he think about things. And then I will help him through it, and I will talk to you as I'm doing it so that we can help him any way that we can. See, right there, he turned his head so that I couldn't come over to the left side. So what I did is I just stopped and I waited for him to put his head back. That was feedback. He was saying, I'm not quite sure if I want you to go over there yet. So instead of going straight there, I give him a minute. Now he's allowing me. So I listen to the horse. You know, what do you think about this? I don't want to do anything that's going to scare him or give him a bad experience so that saddling will become an issue. I don't want it to become an issue. I want to help him every step of the way. If he wants to smell it, that's okay. I don't really want him to eat it, but he can smell it. I want him to stay here with me. I'm not going to put it on while he's not looking. I want him to look. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to see how he feels about things. I'm going to put it on his back. I'm going to do it kind of clumsy because, I don't want to just be, really quiet and just put it on and just go easy, easy, because that's not going to help him. That's not going to help for when I put a leg over him, when it's time to ride him. And see, his head right now is level with his withers. So he's not really too concerned about it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him, come here, stinker. I'm going to ask him first to back up a step. And then I'm going to take it off and see, I'm going to wiggle it a little bit. I'm going to see how he feels about it. His head didn't really come up. He just turned his head over here to look at it. See, his head came up a little bit there, a little bit of concern. So I'm just going to go on and off a few times. His eyes are blinking. Well, they were. Now he quit blinking for a minute. If his eyes quit blinking and he looks real starry-eyed, he's kind of worried. Right now he's blinking again. He's fine. I took it off. The head didn't go up. I want to see, what do you think about this? His head's up a little bit. I want it to come down. Just going to move it around a little bit. How do you feel about that? He's curious. He's looking at it, but he's not overreactive. I'm going to take it off again. I'm going to show it to him. And then I'm going to slide it on. See, his head went up a little bit. So I'm not going to try to cinch him up until he's relaxed with this part. I want him to think this is no big deal. Now that time there really wasn't much of a reaction at all, which is really good. There's no wrinkles in his nose. He's blinking. His ears are moving around because he's paying attention to other things, which means he's not too concerned about the saddle right now. So I'm going to wiggle it a little bit. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to show it to him. I'm going to put it back on. His head came down right away. And see, he's thinking about other things. That shows me he's not really too worried. So since he's not too worried, I'm going to see how he feels about the cinch. So as I do that, when I go to get the cinch, my feet are going to be parallel with the horse's feet. That way, if he spooked and he came towards me, I could take one foot out and stop from falling. But if I'm facing him like this and he spooks and comes towards me, I'm going to land on my back. So I don't want to do that. I want to be parallel with the horse. I'm going to reach under. I'm going to let him feel my hand going down his belly and see what he thinks about that. I'm going to come down. I'm going to pick it up. See how he feels about that. He's not really having any negative reaction right now, so that's really good. His head's just a little bit up, and I don't have any pressure on the cinch yet. But I'm just kind of checking him out. How does he feel about this? So I'm going to let go of it again. And I'm going to reach down. I'm going to pick it up. And he seems to be okay with that. So I'm not going to go and just cinch him up right away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten the bottom part here. Come here, stay with me, please. And I'm going to tighten both ends here. I'm going to put him where you can see. I'm asking him to back up. Now, after each step, I release the pressure on that rope, letting him know that that's what I want. I'm going to turn him this way a little bit. Good job. He's 2 years old. He's got a short attention span. I don't expect it to be perfect. So here I'm going to tighten up both ends slowly and I'm going to look for a response. So right there, his eyes, he's kind of blinking a lot. So I'm going to hold it right there where it is. I'm going to ask him to stay. I'm going to hold it, hold that pressure right where it is until there's some sign of relaxation. And yeah, his head isn't high, he's not freaking out or anything, but see, he's blinking a lot. He's having a little bit of trouble with that. So I'm not going to add any more pressure. I'm going to wait until I see in his nostrils, there's a little bit of breathing heavy. They start expanding a little bit. So I want to wait for that to go away before I release the pressure. Now he's looking over there, kind of paying attention to something else, so I'm going to release that pressure for a moment. So I don't want him worried about that. And I'm not going to cinch him up until he is okay with that. And so even though those are little subtle signs, that's communication. He's letting us know that he's a little concerned and he's not quite ready to be cinched up yet. So I'm going to tighten both ends slowly. And there, his eyes are kind of quivering right there. I'm just going to hold it right there. His nostrils are just flaring just a little bit. That's concern. That's concern. I'm just going to hold it. Hold it. He starts moving. I'll release the pressure right there. Because he was kind of thinking about something else right then. Good. Good. I'm going to try to move him where you can see. Good job. Good. Good. Now I'm going to slowly put pressure on both sides. I'm going to slowly, and see his eyes there? He's blinking a lot. I'm just going to hold it. Now he's looking away. I'm going to release it. Now I'm just going to give him a minute. Because he's trying to figure out what to do with this pressure. This is all new to him. So I'm just going to give him time. Now I'm going to slowly increase the pressure on both ends here. Now his eyes are quivering a little bit. Not quivering, but they're blinking fast. So there's concern there. I want him to know I recognize that. I see that, and I'm going to help you. And if you relax, like he put his head down, that's a sign of relaxation. So I release the pressure. But this is stuff that I would start doing, and I would wait until there's no response there at all before I ever considered cinching him up. So this is, and he's 2, and he's just tired of sitting still, or standing still, I should say. So, I'm just going to do a little bit every day. You don't have to get it all done today. And, when they're young, it's really hard for them to stand still and be patient and just be cooperative. It's really hard. So I might do one more here. I'm going to reach down, put my legs parallel again. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to watch his face. No reaction. No negative reactions there. Slowly start squeezing here. Squeezing. And so right now he's not blinking. Oh, now he blinked once. But when they're not blinking, that's also a sign of worry. So if it's anything other than what they normally do, there's usually some kind of concern there. So he's not really showing a whole lot. I'm going to hold it here. He's moving around a lot. His head came down, so I'm going to release. So things that I look for before I release are the eyes blinking normally. Are his nostrils normal? Or is he breathing a little heavier? Are they a little bit bigger? Is there any wrinkles in the nose? Is the head high or low? These are all things that I pay attention to. And the ears. Is he pinning his ears back? Or are his ears just kind of, halfway back? Because if they're pinned back, he's having a negative reaction too. So all that is feedback. We want to pay attention to all that, because it all matters to the horse. And if we allow them to have a part in this conversation and we let him know that we notice and we're taking care of his needs, then he can become a good learner. He's going to keep confidence through the whole process. Now he's licking his lips. So, he's feeling okay about this right now. And that's all I'm going to do right now, just a little bit. I could spend an hour doing this. But, he's young. We've got all the time in the world. I just want him to feel that pressure a little bit. I want him to know I understand when he has trouble and that I'm going to help him through it. And when he shows some sign of relaxation, I'm going to release the pressure. So I hope you got a little bit out of that today. If you have any questions and you want to contact me, you can contact me at cowgirldebbie.com. COWGIRLDEBBIE.com. And thank you for watching.